from an array of special features and options, you'll find many ways to define your lifestyle at Pioneer Point. Call or schedule your tour online today at pioneercare.org.
Doth thou wisheth to save money? At FergusFallsDeals.com, we've got a whole lot of new savings, including certificates for home and garden. So much more and great savings at low prices, like Atlas Outdoor Services, Flour Mill, and beyond the mitered corners. Log on to set up an account now. It's that easy. Check it out and start saving money today at FergusFallsDeals.com.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Minnesota. This message presented by the MSHSL and the Minnesota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
It's Morning Talk on News Talk 1250 KBRF, brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. Now, here's Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop.
And good morning. It's a beautiful Thursday. For those watching the video stream, we're dealing with a little bit of an audio issue, but should be back up and running here very shortly.
Okay, so they can watch me move my mouth. They just can't hear what I'm
Well,
saying.
there's a little buzz.
Oh, okay.
So we're
All right,
keeping
we're working
an eye on that.
All right. Well, that sounds good. Happy Thursday and happy long holiday weekend
Yes.
eve. Is that how we look at this?
Long holiday weekend eve, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully people have some fun plans, whether they're, headed to the golf course or, maybe there's some...
I know the Pot of Luck Gold tournament is happening at Pebble.
Yeah, so, you can't play at Pebble over the weekend, but anyway, and that's a fun one to watch. So they have a couple of tournaments going on. So and there's a lot of people that walk along with those foursomes. So if you like to walk along or ride along and watch a golf event, it's a good weekend. It looks like it's going to be a nice weekend for that. Temperature-wise, it's going to be really comfortable, and I think it's going to be a good weekend.
I think it's going to be a good weekend, too. I'm going to try to hit one of the golf courses around here. I think we're going to try the one in Jacob Zoo.
Oh.
Where you golf in 2 states. I've never been on that one, so it's going to be kind of interesting. Yes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful course. Absolutely beautiful. So that would be a good one. It is. I know it's a busy one, so you might want to grab a tee time here soon.
We've already got tee time.
Oh, you already do? Okay,
Yep.
good.
And
good.
so it's going to be kind of nice. I've been able to golf 4 times this year, or 5. This will be my 5th time.
Wow.
And which is more than I've done in a while.
Okay, well, I'm playing in a
3,
scramble
4, yeah.
next Thursday, and I haven't swung a club in 2 or 3 seasons. So anyway, that will be very interesting to see.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've golfed this much. I've hit Stalker, Tips and Mounds, and then Pebble twice.
Oh,
and then,
Tips and is so much fun to play, isn't it beautiful?
And then Boy to Sioux this weekend.
Yeah, oh, you're going to like Boy to Sioux. You'll love that. So, boy, if I had to pick a favorite around here, well, I haven't played Tips-in-It for years and years, but I do remember that being a beautiful one.
Gorgeous course.
I do remember a former superintendent at Pebble Lake Golf. He used to say that Tips-in-It Mounds is made on the world's most perfect soil for a golf club. A golf course, he said, it's the perfect soil, and that's why it's always so beautiful, I guess. Anyway, I remember him always talking about Tips-in-It Mounds. I think one of my favorites around here is Perm Lakeside.
I have never golfed.
Oh, my goodness. You would love it. They've got 27 holes. So you play, if you played it today and then you played it tomorrow, you would play a different combination of those 27.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, if you're in for all 18 holes, then one day you would play, this course and that course. I can't remember what the names of them are. But then you would shuffle and play, 2 other of the 27 holes the next day. But anyway, beautiful. That's always beautifully maintained too, and They got a great restaurant, and yeah, that's a fun one too. So if you ever are looking for one more to play, and I know, especially you like to go out with the family sometimes too, and on Sundays they have a great family rate, and I think it's afternoon.
I think it's called Oakwood.
Oh, right in Pelican? That's
Yeah,
Birchwood.
Birchwood, there you go. I knew it was
Yep.
a wood.
That's a fun course too. In fact, John and I were just talking about it last night. We used to play at Birchwood all the time. In fact, we were members for quite a few years. It's a shorter course. It's a 9-hole course.
Well, that's fine.
Lots of smaller. It's challenging in that they've got some smaller greens, so
Ooh.
it's tough to stick the green, on an approach shot.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's a bit of a challenge too. And then of course you're right along the highway there, and County Road 9, and yeah, I've lobbed a few over I gotta admit, I've lobbed a few over County Road 9 into somebody's cornfield or whatever's on the other side these days. So anyway, but it looks like it's going to be a nice weekend for outdoor activities. I know we've got a cabin full coming to our house on Saturday, so looking forward to that. And
Sounds good.
yeah, it's winding down. And first football game for us tonight.
Nice.
Yeah, and boy, is it going to be a nice night to sit out at the football field.
Yeah, we did our first stream on Tuesday, which was a soccer game, and that was, it was gorgeous.
Yep, boy, this has been a beautiful week, hasn't it?
Yes.
I got home about 4 o'clock yesterday, and it was so gorgeous. The lake was like a mirror, and I dropped my stuff, and I ran to the end of the dock and put the pontoon down. I thought, boy, we're taking advantage of every night like this, and we went for a long pontoon ride last night. Felt great. Well, whatever you have planned this weekend, we hope you have some fun, and I think the weather is going to comply.
Remember, be safe and sober.
Absolutely, for sure. In fact, I read, and I don't remember what the statistic was, but it was not good about, typically the number of accidents and deaths that happen over these long holiday weekends. And so let's make sure that we're not making any statistics there. Speaking of stats, very sad stats. When we hear these kinds of stories that come out in the news, we always think it's somewhere else. And even though Minneapolis is, 3.5 hours away, it feels like it's where we live almost. It's so close that we feel like it's in our neighborhood. And I know when I looked at Fox News this morning on my phone. I watched a couple of different morning shows, and this just tragic classroom, or I guess it was at a church, the mass shooting that happened in Minneapolis yesterday, about 24 hours ago, was the lead story all over on all these national news outlets. And we just don't like to have Minneapolis or anywhere in Minnesota. Anywhere is awful. But it feels so close to home when it's Minneapolis, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you hate to have your state and your cities be, have these tragic stories as lead stories. And it says that the weapons that the Minnesota church shooter Robin Westman used to kill 2 Catholic school students, age 8 and 10, just horrific, injured 17 others, were lawfully purchased. And this comes from the city's police chief. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara identified the 23-year-old as the coward who opened fire Wednesday during a mass welcoming students to the first week of classes at Annunciation Catholic Church. As to the weapon used to perpetrate this horrific attack, there was a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. All 3 had been lawfully purchased by the shooter. At this stage, we believe that the shooter had acted alone. There is no indication of other suspects directly involved in carrying out this attack. When asked by a reporter about where Westman obtained the weapons, O'Hara only said, "I can tell you that they were purchased recently." O'Hara said during an appearance Thursday, this morning actually, on NBC's Today Show, that 4 search warrants were executed on Wednesday, one of which was at the church where the shooting unfolded, and 3 others at residences around the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. We did not find any additional firearms yesterday. We recovered literally hundreds of pieces of evidence in total that we will have to go through. There is some additional writings that would say that the FBI is helping to go through, and they will be going through that, likely applying for additional electronic search warrants to search all kinds of devices and that sort of thing. So everything that we have seen so far is really a classic pathway to an active shooter. We have seen a whole lot of hate against a variety of people, and what we have seen so far, but nothing specific to point to a very specific motive for targeting this church and this particular incident.
Well, I think the motive is that they went to that church. Their mom worked at that church a while back.
And the shooter, and they keep referring to him as he.
Yeah.
He had transitioned to become a girl, went from Robert to Robin, but they keep referring to this person as him and he. So I'm actually glad to hear that. But anyway, and then the shooter took his own life. So you just wonder. I mean, how, you know, there were a lot of messages that indicated that this person was, you know, mentally ill for sure. But interesting, and of course now it's another political thing. Everyone wants to politicize this, and honestly, frankly, you can point your finger at some of the administration in the state of Minnesota who have not wanted a real police presence, have not wanted safety in their cities. I mean, Minneapolis is a classic example of that.
Yeah, but it'd be hard-pressed to say that that's why this happened.
Not. I mean, this happens everywhere.
Yeah, you can't blame the administration and law enforcement. I mean, obviously, I
absolutely.
do.
And I didn't mean to indicate that, but they certainly do not advocate for making their city safe.
I mean, you could point out some of the other shootings that happened over the weekend towards them, but this one, pretty
tough. Know, but here's what's interesting. At least I noted this as I heard this story, is that they were talking about, okay, so the kids are at school, and they go to the church part of their school for Mass, and that's where this happened. But the doors were locked from the inside. So that's what schools do these days. Even churches, you know, they have less entrances anymore, and everything is locked for these kinds of things. But that didn't even make a difference here. This kid went right through the stained glass window.
He went right through the windows, but you got to look at it this way. If they would have been able to walk in.
Oh, my goodness. Think how much worse it would have been.
Yeah. So, I mean, just having those doors locked and the person being further away, having to shoot inside.
Yes, absolutely. But it just goes to show you that they will go to all great lengths. And this person, 23 years old?
23 years old.
This person clearly was planning on taking his own life.
Yeah.
But anyway, just sad all the way around. But now does it change the rhetoric from...
No, it won't.
You know, from those who are in leadership in Minneapolis? Does it change how they look at things and what to do to change? I mean, that kind of change isn't going to happen overnight, for sure.
I mean, you got to look at the grandstanding. I saw Jacob Fry, the mayor of Minneapolis, you know, doing his little tearful
Boy,
thing.
he said some really dumb things.
And, well, he's in a tight race for, you know, the mayor. Coming up in a couple months.
Did you hear what he said about, he said, enough thoughts and prayers. We need way more than thoughts and prayers. Prayers do us no good in situations like this. And I thought, wow, here we are at a church shooting.
But it just goes to show you who he is.
Yeah, so both he and
Walls.
Omar
was there.
Omar was there, but you know, people were kind of going after Walls for what he said, you know, publicly after the shooting, and I didn't find anything bad in what he said.
See, I missed it.
Yeah, I mean,
I just know that he spoke.
I think he said what needed to be said, that, you know, after something like that happens. President Trump called him and, you know, offered his condolences to the state and offered any help that, you know, that the United States government could give them. Yeah, and so they were kind of going after Waltz, and typically I'd be on that wagon, but I didn't think he said anything. I mean, I think he said what needed to be said after a situation like that. But again, will it change the way they look at how they handle crime and all of that sort of thing in Minneapolis? I don't know.
Not one bit.
Maybe not. You'd sure like to think so.
You'd like to think so, but it's it's so politicized.
I know. I heard another radio announcer this morning saying that this story will last about maybe through the weekend, and then it will just vaporize and we'll go on to the next.
The one thing I can
news
see
cycle.
is I can see Walz using this as the reason why he's running. This is why I'm going to run for governor next time.
Yeah, and what will he do then? I mean, tell us how you're going to.
Yeah, it's like, well,
work with
you've been
that.
in there the last 8 years, so tell us how
Right.
you're going to do something different.
Well, yeah, do something different, you know, and again, we've got these places where people can, you know, do these horrific crimes and then really have zero consequences. And we've got a lot of people moving into, you know, that have moved into Minnesota and across the country that are bad actors. And then Minnesota is one of those places where those people are welcome to come. So, and this wasn't one of those things. This is one of those mental illness deals. And I don't know how you combat that. I don't know how you take better care of, I mean, they did what they were supposed to do.
They
The
did
church
all
was
they
locked.
could, yeah.
They did all the things. And still, this horrible, horrible crime.
Yeah.
So, anyway, just awful to even talk about. And just so sad that it happened in the state of Minnesota. It just feels like home, you know, that it hit home. It's tragic no matter where it happens. But anyway.
It is definitely sad.
Oh, boy.
Especially,
that
you know,
is for sure. Well,
8 and 10-year-olds.
oh, my gosh, just heartbreaking. Cool fall-like weather is expected to dominate the Great Lakes and Northeast regions during the Labor Day weekend. I think it's just going to be very comfortable.
It's going to be nice.
Yeah, I think so too. Anyway, we've got more for you when we come back on Morning Talk.
Back with more Morning Talk with Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop. Brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. After the markets on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
Hey, it's Chris Atterbury. The Minnesota Twins are off today. They'll play baseball tomorrow. There are certainly bigger things afoot in our home neighborhoods. As a resident of South Minneapolis, I will be part of the grieving in the morning all throughout the course of today, but we will be back at work, and we will be playing baseball tomorrow at Target Field. I hope we'll see you there. Twins and the Padres on your home for Twins baseball.
News Talk 1250 AM KBRF. Depend on it.
KBRF presents Where to Eat, the culinary adventure, sponsored by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food in Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Zach Daniels.
And I'm Dave Bishop, your guide to the region's culinary treasures.
Join us as we explore various restaurants, uncover delicious meals, and highlight each restaurant's signature dish.
Experience diverse cuisine types, unique atmospheres, and must-try dishes. Check it out on KBRFradio.com and the Fergus Now app.
New episodes air every first Friday of the month. Where to Eat, powered by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food of Fergus Falls.
Got a lot of people talking, saving money, having fun. Got a lot of people asking where to go, where to run. Got a lot of people clicking, saying, I bought it on. Deals, give me those deals.
At FergusFallsDeals.com.
Got a lot of people shopping online and on the go.
At FergusFallsDeals.com.
Previously on the Under the Hood Show. When I was a kid, I had a chance to get a chemistry set.
I got
only
the
I'd have
chemistry
known.
set, and I started experimenting with the baking soda and the vinegar thing, you know, and how cool that was. And of course, you know, I had to overdo it like I do everything, and I got it on a little bigger level, and I got in a lot of trouble, and we had to buy new carpet for the living room. It was not good.
You should listen to the Nordstrom's Under the Hood show with the Motor Medics right here. KBRF, 1250 a.m. every Saturday at 10 a.m.
The Speedway Motors Minnesota 100, fueled by Minnesota Motor Company, Swanson Equipment, and KJ Country 96.5, September 9th through the 13th at I-94 EMR Speedway in Fergus Falls. Tickets and camping info at WISSOTA.org. Drivers from around the upper Midwest will compete to be awarded Speedway Motors Minnesota 100 champion. Catch the action live on KJ Country 96.5 and with the Fergus Now app. Special thanks to Buyer Towing and Transport, Buyer Auto Body, Elizabeth Liquor, and West Metro GMC Buick. The Speedway Motors Minnesota 100, where adrenaline meets excitement.
Find out why the markets are moving. Get in-depth ag information with the Red River Farm Network on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
Good morning. Market update time here on the Red River Farm Network. I'm Tyler Donaldson. Wheat remains mixed here at the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour. September wheat Minneapolis wheat up as much as a dime. Total Farm Marketing market advisor Brandon Doherty says corn, however, is being pulled in two directions by both demand and fundamentals.
Export sales out this morning, pretty decent on corn, 82.3 million bushels for 25-26. So the demand side of things there has continued to be pretty strong. That's kind of the bright spot corn market. However, I think corn right now is just in a bit of a sideways trading range. While the demand has been supportive and probably has limited our downside for the time being, I don't see much reason for us to rally in any sharp manner at this time unless we start getting into harvest and start seeing yield decreases due to potential disease issues and some of the other things that we've heard some talk on October or early November.
Cattle markets trading mixed to higher, mostly on momentum.
Nothing really new on the news front that I've seen. I think there's, other than what's already known, I mean, there's talk about the screwworm in Mexico, and there was, a person in the U.S. that was shown to have an infection a few days ago with the screwworm, and it doesn't seem to have affected the market much. I think the fact that momentum is higher just continues to push the market higher. Cash has been strong, and there's not really much reason to turn around just yet. Now, I think we are compressing the spring, so to speak, meaning that once we do reach a top, I think it's going to fall apart quickly because it's under pressure.
Reporting agriculture's business, you're listening to the Red River Farm Network.
At Channel, we always show up for our farmers. Is that tar spot or rust? Incoming! Definitely rust.
Rick, how did you?
Dropping in to check on your crop, Bill. Let's call your agronomist before that rust can hurt your yield.
That sounds great, but when did you learn to skydive?
Self-taught, Bill. Kind of a prodigy.
From personalized insights to year-round support, Channel Seed Pros always show up. Visit channel.com to learn more. Channel, all in, all season. Read and follow pesticide label directions, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices.
Did you know that a 200-bushel corn crop leaves more than 4 tons of residue still in the field? Hi, I'm Darren Hefty with Hefty Seed Company. When crop residue doesn't break down, you have 2 big problems. Residue traps valuable fertility, and leftover plant material wreaks havoc on planter performance in future crops. Break residue down fast with Decomp. Decomp uses natural fungi and bacteria to eradicate residue, releasing trapped fertility while improving the seedbed for your next crop. Talk to your local Hefty agronomist about Decomp today.
Imagine this. You gather a stadium full of farmers, step up to the podium, and tell them about your business. What would that be worth to you and your company? This is Don Wick from the Red River Farm Network. We fill that stadium every day with some of the most progressive-minded, forward-thinking farmers and ranchers around the world. Find out how the Red River Farm Network can carry your message to farmers and ranchers. We're the Red River Farm Network, and we're reporting agriculture's business. There's a big-name crop tour getting a lot of attention this week, yet it has never gone north of I-90 in southern Minnesota or southeastern South Dakota. This is farm broadcaster Don Wick. Join us for the Red River Farm Network crop tour presented by Pioneer. Next week, we'll be on the road and in the field across North Dakota and Northwest Minnesota. What are the prospects for this year's crop? You'll find out on air and online. It's the Red River Farm Network Crop Tour, presented by Pioneer.
September Minneapolis wheat's up a dime at $5.61 even. Chicago September wheat 2 1/4 lower, sitting even at $5. KC hard red winter wheat's down 2.5 cents to $4.83. September corn's at $3.81, down a penny and a half. September soybeans are a penny and a quarter lower to $10.26. November canola in Winnipeg's down $6.60 per metric ton at $6.44.10 Canadian. October live cattle's down 35 cents to $239.17. September feeders, they're 55 cents higher, $365.95. October hogs are up 2 cents right now. They're sitting even now at $93.90. This is the Red River Farm Network.
Hey, you. Yes, you. Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls wants your vehicle. They're paying top dollar for quality trade-ins, and there's never been a better time to sell or trade up. Got a car, truck, or SUV you're ready to part with? Bring it in. They'll make you an offer on the spot. Whether you're trading in or just cashing out, come and see why people are choosing Minnesota Motor Company.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Got a lot of people talking, saving money, having fun. Got a lot of people asking where to go, where to run. Got a lot of people clicking, saying, I bought it on. Deals, give me those deals.
At FergusFallsDeals.com.
Got a lot of people shopping online and on the go.
At FergusFallsDeals.com.
Summer flies by, doesn't it? Between family outings, kids' activities, and soaking up every bit of sunshine, we're all on the go. But in the middle of the rush, don't forget to check in with yourself. Lakeland Mental Health Center reminds you your mental well-being matters too. If you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or down, reach out. Make the call to LMHC. Visit lmhc.org and connect with support that fits your needs. With services available in Alexandria, Detroit Lakes, Fergus Falls, Glenwood, and Moorhead, LMHC is here to help today for a better tomorrow.
Injured or ill and unsure about work? Minnesota Retain offers free expert help to get you back to work safely. Visit mnretain.com or call 507-284-4537. The contents of this ad were developed under Grant H421F240147 from the U.S. Department of Education. The department does not mandate or prescribe practices, models, or any other activities described or discussed in this ad. Paid for by Minnesota Retain. Aired by the Minnesota Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you want to spark a lifelong love of music in your family, a family membership to the Fergus Falls Concert Association is the perfect way to start. This year's lineup is packed with variety and talent. 6 fantastic concerts in Fergus Falls, and even more in Wadena, Sauk Center, and Alexandria, all included in your membership. Kicking off September 13th, don't miss the Secret Agents. On October 4th brings M5, the Mexican Brass. Then on November 13th, the Barricade Boys. And that's just the first half.
A big thank you to these sponsors for supporting the arts. Minnesota Motor Company, Quality Toyota, Olson Funeral and Glendy Nielsen Home and Cremation Services, Pioneer Care, Kreckelberg Law, Nick Lamo and Elig Law, Ottertail Power Company, Buyer Body Shop, and Edward D. Jones.
Season memberships are available now at the Victor Lundin Company or from your neighborhood ticket seller. Fergus Falls Concert Association, a full season of outstanding music.
The News Talk 1250 KBRF. Listen anytime, any place with the Fergus Now app on your phone. It is 9:38 and currently sitting in at 68 right now in Fergus Falls. Morning Talk brought to you this morning and every morning by our friends over at Fergus Falls Monument and at Pioneer Care.
All right. Well, as you look ahead at the weather for the weekend, it seems like it's going to be pretty
nice.
Yeah.
There's
and
a slight chance of some showers here and there.
Yeah, showers here and there, but nothing that we have to really worry about,
No.
any severe weather or anything.
Knock on wood.
I just feel it, yeah.
Because
I
that'll
know this
pop
is-
up out of nowhere.
I know it does. So let's hope that stays away and we just get one of those weekends where you don't have to come in and tell everybody
Yeah.
what the weather is doing. Okay, well, speaking of weather, tornadoes top the list of what people think of as the scariest natural disaster.
They are.
I think they're very scary. And tornadoes, super scary, but even just those straight line winds.
Straight line winds, but I mean, you talk scary, the wedge tornadoes. Wow.
Yeah, and how is that different? I don't know what that is.
Well, a wedge tornado. Well, you got the little rope tornadoes.
Yep.
You've got the more conical tornadoes, and then you got the big wedge ones. Those
Okay.
are the ones that are a mile or two wide.
Oh my. Well, I would agree that those are very, very scary. And
Yeah,
man, there's been a lot of those around.
The wedge ones are the ones that, I mean, they all do damage, but it's usually when you hear large loss of life, it's a big wedge.
Right. They of course there's a survey for this, and people said that most people said tornadoes is what scares them the most, followed by tsunamis. We used to hear when we heard tsunami, it was happening in Japan.
Asia.
Yeah, but there was one just off the coast of Alaska, right?
Yeah.
Just not so long ago, a month ago or so. Hurricanes is another one that really scares people.
Yeah.
It's like a tornado times 10, and it goes on for a long time.
Well, but the difference between a tornado and a hurricane is, I could tell you we're going to get hit by a hurricane next week.
Right.
You've
exactly.
got time to move.
Tornado comes so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, anyway, I thought that was interesting that of all the bad weather, and there's plenty of different kinds of storms that hit across the United States. Of course, now we're getting into hurricane season again. I think we're already there. Thankfully, this one, I can't even remember what the name on it was, but it stayed out in the ocean. It never did hit landfall. It caused some flooding and caused some problems with rip currents and that sort of thing, but at least it didn't, knock the East Coast out. Okay, this is pretty interesting. Remember the whole Cracker Barrel deal?
Cracker Barrel went back.
They went back. So some, young whippersnapper, I suppose. Boy, that makes me sound old, doesn't it? Somebody comes in and says, "Hey, we gotta spruce things up here.
Gotta make things hip.
We gotta make things hip.
Can't have
we
an
gotta
old guy near a barrel.
We got to take the old guy and the barrel off our logo, make it much cleaner, simpler." Well, oh my goodness. They got so much backlash after doing it, they decided to abandon its recently introduced All the More logo and revert back to the original iconic branding. I love when something like this happens. People say, "Nope, we're done with all this. Quit it. Leave it alone."
Fire that consultant.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, anyway, the restaurant chain faced such significant backlash from conservative customers, who were just about everyone that came in the door, who accused the company of abandoning its traditional values and going woke with the updated logo. Cracker Barrel acknowledged the feedback from guests, stating, "We said we would listen, and we have. Our new logo is going away, and our old-timer logo will remain." So anyway, the move comes less than 2 weeks after the logo's launch, which was part of a broader effort to modernize Cracker Barrel brand. Well, people didn't want it modernized.
No, they wanted what they got.
Sometimes when it's not broken, just plain quit trying to fix it.
Yeah, it was a solution in search of a problem.
Exactly. Well, they found the problem, that's for sure. The company's stock price had dipped nearly 13% since the rebranding announcement, but rebounded sharply following the decision to restore the classic logo. Isn't that funny?
It is.
I love it. I love it.
And it's funny, though, because when I think Cracker Barrel, have you ever eaten at a Cracker Barrel?
I haven't.
There's a lot of them down south, and we go down south, or when I was younger, we went down south quite a bit because I get a lot of family down there. And that is where, Cracker Barrel is where I learned my love of grits.
Yeah, you've talked about that. I don't know that I've ever eaten grits.
Oh, grits are tasty. You get a little,
I know
butter on it, and then a little
what,
syrup.
now that I think about it, we were in South Carolina for a time, and I think I tried them.
Oh, I love them.
I guess I don't remember. That was a long time ago, 30 years ago. We were on our honeymoon.
We were at the Waffle House in, I think, Destin, Florida, and I didn't order them. I ordered something else, but I'm like, oh, man, I wanted the grits. But Jen ordered the grits, and she was a couple down because we're up at the counter. And then she tried them. She's just like, this is not for me. Why is Dave saying he loves
How would
grits
you
so much?
describe them?
It's, I mean, it is its own flavor. I mean, it's corn, or I think it's some kind of mashed up, kind of cream of wheatish.
Okay.
And Jen's just like, this ain't for me. And I'm like, oh, I'll take it. And she's like, okay, what is his secret? He is one of the most picky people I know when it comes to food. Comes down, boom, big shot of maple syrup on it, mixed it up. I was almost done with it. And she goes, no, let me try it with the syrup. Let me try it with the syrup. I'm like, slid it back down. She goes, oh, yeah, this is much better.
Okay. All right. So it depends on how you top it.
How you top it? You got to throw a little maple syrup on there, a little butter.
Do you think the people in the South, do they just eat grits as grits? They don't.
I think they do
sweeten
both.
it? Yeah.
I mean, I've seen people. I mean, that's how I was taught to eat it from my relatives. Just throw a little syrup on there.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
I'm just
it's been so long, I don't remember if I liked it or not. I can't even remember what it looks like. But now that you say cream wheatish,
yeah, cream
of wheatish.
cream of wheatish. I can't remember if it's corn or if it's wheat. It's just basically ground up and just boiled, and it's kind of got that kind of oatmeal-esque cream of wheatish thing.
Wallpaper paste.
That's why you add the maple syrup.
Okay. All right. So now we know that a lot of kids are moving into their college dorm rooms, right?
Oh, yeah, a lot of them already have.
Yep. So we see a lot of pictures on Facebook and Instagram of, dropped so-and-so off at college today, all tucked into their room. And then they show these, these rooms, these college dorm rooms. And most of them are pretty, meh. I mean, they're pretty, not much there. Couple of beds, couple of desks. And, tradition. That's kind of what a dorm room looks like. Well, wait till you hear this stat. Parents are paying as much as $20,000 for designer dorm room makeovers.
I got a story about this after you get done.
Is that ridiculous?
It wasn't a makeover. I was talking to one of our friends. She dropped off her son. Her son and her sister's son, so they're cousins, are both going to, I can't remember if it's South Dakota State or University of South Dakota. It's one of the ones South Dakota schools. And they were trying to figure out what dorm they were going to be in. Well, Sarah decided to put her kid up in the upscale dorm. Well, Becky was like, no, we need something more reasonable.
Yes.
And she's like, come on, get picked for the reasonable. Come on. No, they got the upscale dorm. And she's just like, no, why do you guys have to pick the expensive one?
I know. Well, this is kind of a new trend.
Yeah.
And maybe this is why kids can be so entitled. But parents, they say, are spending up to $20,000 to transform their kids' college dorm room into a lavish, Instagram-worthy space. It's all about the video. Consultants and interior designers are cashing in on this viral dorm goal phenomenon, replacing standard university furniture with plush, color-coordinated decor. That would be the day. I mean, you're already paying a fortune for them to sleep in that room.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the average family spends about $598 on dorm items, according to Retail Me Not. A subset of parents are investing heavily to create dazzling social media backdrops. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
That is not how you want to raise your kids.
These parents should be shamed.
Oh, my goodness. One expert notes, this is not decorating, this is dorm culture. This is what is wrong with...
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway, the elaborate makeovers reflect the growing importance of social media presence. Boy, that has just changed so many things. Yeah. I get so tired of these people that are constantly on social media. I just wonder.
I'm an influencer.
And I mean, and I have people on my Facebook friends, my Facebook feed, that are posting like multiple times a day. And I think, my goodness, put your phone down, spend some time with your kids, go do, and they're doing things all the time, but they have to.
Here's my breakfast.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I've just put in a quick little 5K before, lunch or.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Be a little more self-aware. Take a look at your Facebook posts and think, am I gagging people? and I want to be the first one to say, yup, you are.
It's funny, though, because if I've got multiple posts, it's because I shared memories, and that's about it.
I just don't. I hardly share anything. I mean, once in a while, if there's something poignant or really super funny or, and I'm not saying I love, I mean, that's why I go there. I want to see what my friends are doing. It's a good way to keep up. But there are some, when I get to there and I see it's another post from them, I just go right by it. I think, oh, I can't read one more thing about what you are gagging me about today. I mean, there's just some people that I should just unfollow because, ugh. Anyway, okay. But I can't believe it. One commentator remarked, if the desks are gone, where are these kids studying? If they're making it so beautiful that they have to remove an ugly desk in the dorm, where's the kid going to study?
Well, he doesn't.
Maybe not studying because they're taking pictures.
They're not studying. You know, I'm going to be an Instagram star. I don't need to learn.
Goodness. I don't know. It's another one of those deals. Okay. So remember the other day when we had the go-round about the fundraising effort?
Efficient.
And for those of you who missed out, I'll just quickly recap. I got, I think it was a text or an email. I can't remember which.
You said email.
And it was simply a link that I could click on, and I could support that person's kid and their sports team. Now, I absolutely want to do that. I want to support. It's a good friend, and I would absolutely support. But, so what you do is you click on the link, and Dave and I had this back and forth. He said it was efficient. I said it was lazy. But here's what bugs me more than the lazy part, is there is a company that is taking care of this, and they are taking a cut of what you give to that team.
Mm-hmm.
Now, wouldn't you rather have the team just have a fundraiser or have them contact you directly? I would have rather handed a $50 bill or whatever you're going to give. I would rather hand the whole $50 to the coach and say, use this whole $50. Don't let this company take 15 of it or 20 of it, because I bet they do.
Now, my question to you is, okay, it was a fundraiser. What were they selling?
Well, you could either just donate a monetary gift.
Yep.
This makes it even worse. I'll see if you still agree, if you are still on your side. You could either buy something. There were a variety of things, coffees and teas and toffees and, food and drinks, basically. So I decided, nope, I'm just going to give a monetary, because then they ship it direct to you. Well, I was buying a $25 bag of coffee, and it was going to cost me $12 to get it to me. And I'm like, I'm out. Not doing that. So I made the choice to just donate, just give money. So I filled in the amount that I was going to give, and I got to the end at the checkout. They had automatically added a 20% tip for a donation.
Wow.
The only way that I could undo that, so my $50 gift became a $60 gift. And so I backed out of it.
Yeah, okay,
so I went back and I filled in 0 for the tip. So then it went back to $50. But how many people didn't fill that in and didn't pay any attention, thinking they were given $50 or $100 or whatever? That's awful.
That's sneaky.
Okay.
That should be criminal.
So, well, and I think the school should take a look at the company that they're using and that this is happening, and it shouldn't. They shouldn't use that.
No.
Plus, I would love to know the percentage of the take.
It should be posted on the website.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go back.
I think by law it has to be.
Okay. I'm going to go back and look at that and see how much money this company is taking for these donations to a local sports team. I just think it's awful. It's lazy and it's expensive, and the money that you're giving isn't all going to the team.
Yeah.
I'd rather have them stand out with a booth and just take my money. You know?
Yeah, I
At
think
least you know where it's all going.
The tennis or soccer team or something like that had a car wash the other day behind
Yes,
Northwest
I love
Tire.
that kind of stuff. I love that. Because if you give them, here's my $50 bill or my $20 bill, you know it all goes to the team.
The dumbest one I remember doing, and I think it was in 8th grade or 9th grade soccer, is because when I grew up and I went through soccer was in Fergus Falls still considered club. It wasn't a total school activity. It was like as soon as I graduated, it was like boom, it's school thing. So we had to raise a lot of money. And the dumbest one that we had, I can't remember if it was like a $5 or $10 or $15 certificate for Domino's, but it cost like, here, for $10, I give you a $10 certificate for Domino's. It's like you really weren't gaining anything out of it. It's just, it was like the hardest thing in the world to sell. And I think my dad just went, yeah, we're just going to eat this. We'll just give the donation.
You know,
we'll just eat
I
Domino's.
remember, and this was a number of years back, but when kids would sell pizzas,
Yep.
at least you got
something.
You got a pizza. You
Oh,
know,
especially those Ole and Lena pizzas
know,
for
they
those
were so
fundraisers.
good.
Oh, those are awesome.
I know. That's a good fundraiser.
Yeah.
And it's somebody kind of sort of local, you know, who's helping with that.
I mean, yeah, it's literally
But
a couple
right
hundred
over
yards over
yeah.
here. So.
But when I got to the end, I was already kind of miffed. And then I got to the end, and they had automatically added a 20% tip to my donation. I
that
thought,
is
that's
sketchy.
it. I know. And I almost want to reach out to the team and say, really, do you understand this? This does not reflect well.
Well, it could be the same as I don't remember if the Bren Jam used Active, but I know the first couple of years Lake Region Run used Active to
and they
to set things up there.
charge. They have a charge.
Yep, but the sneaky thing they did was automatically enroll you in some kind of membership. And if you didn't click on it and you didn't know about it
and it was
next year, you were like, what the heck?
And I think it was like
it's like $30, $40.
I think it was more than. I think I was going to say 40. But yes, I totally agree. And if you didn't click that little box, you got charged. Yeah,
and
I totally
that
agree.
was sketchy, and it's one of the probably the main reasons they switched. They said, hey, we're not going to use this company anymore because this ain't
Too many people got. Yep. I totally agree. Well, anyway, so I thought I needed to provide you with the update to that story. Okay, I'm just going to leave you a feel good that is just a headline, and it says this: survey shows coffee consumption boosts your morning mood. So there you go.
I'm going to live forever.
Consider yourself boosted, everybody. All right, well, that's going to wrap up another week. Thank you for joining us. Have a great holiday weekend. We will not be here on Monday, right?
That's correct.
Okay, but we'll be back next Tuesday. So have a great weekend. Our show today and every day brought to us by Pioneer Care and by Fergus Monument Company. Have a great weekend.
The target